Pedal the bike, and you're going to look down the jockey wheel and try to align it to the center of the cog. And you can do this also by just hearing it. It should sound pretty quiet and smooth. And before we tighten the cable, go ahead and back the barrel all the way in till it stops, and go ahead and back it out about 2 to 3 turns. Tighten the cable down, and go ahead and shift the gear up. It should go up pretty smooth. If there's a slight hesitation to go up, possibly the cable's not tight enough, go ahead and screw the barrel out just about 1/4 of a turn and try it again. If it skips a gear, it's possible that the cable is slightly too tight. I'm going to go ahead and back it in about 1/4 of a turn. Now that we've got the cable tension about right and the lower or the high limit screw set, go ahead and go to the biggest cog, and now we're going to adjust the low limit screw. And again, you want it to be center of the cog, and when you pedal it, it should sound fairly quiet. Now with the barrel, you're able to just kind of fine tune it. And it seems to be working pretty good. Now the last adjustment you can make on some of these rear cassettes, they're getting to be about a 32-34 tooth sprocket. Occasionally you get a little bit of rub on the pulley wheel on the cog. This screw here is the bracket screw, and what this will do is this will bring the derailleur up slightly to keep the rub down. There's a small percentage of people that have a rear derailleur known as rapid rise, and basically it's the same thing except the resting position is the biggest cog rather than the smallest cog. So everything I showed you how to adjust the derailleur is the same, except you start tuning it in the biggest cog. If you're not sure what kind of derailleur you have, you can always just loosen the cable, go ahead and pedal the bike, and the derailleur will automatically go to its resting position. After you're done adjusting the derailleur, it wouldn't hurt to come back through with some synthetic oil and just lightly oil all the pivots on the derailleur as well as the jockey wheels. Make sure to wipe off any excess oil. You don't want a bunch of dirt sticking to it. Now if you're having some problems getting your derailleur dialed in, this derailleur hanger is this part that hangs off the frame and your derailleur mounts to it. It's really critical that that's aligned and very straight. If it's bent slightly, you're going to have some shifting problems. You might want to take your bike down to a local bike shop. They've got a special tool to align that. Occasionally you'll get an index shifter that'll stick on you. You can take some WD-40 and squirt it into the shifter, and might need to sit for an hour or two, and it'll help the pawls in the shifter from sticking. You can replace your rear derailleur without breaking your chain. Just simply remove the lower derailleur pulley, spread the cage across and pull the chain out, and now you can remove the derailleur. When installing pulley bolts, be sure to use a medium Loctite. Grip installation is really easy. If you don't care about the grip, you can just take a razor blade and go ahead and just cut it off. If you want to save your old grips, what I like to do is I'll take a really skinny Allen key and I'll actually slide it down the grip. I'm going to use a little bit of hairspray for this. Kind of work it into the grip, and it should slide right off. To install grips, you need some hairspray or some spray adhesive. Go ahead and clean the bar real good. Apply some adhesive inside the grip and slide it on.
and it might take a couple hours to dry. They also make a lock-on grip, and it makes it a lot easier to install. Go ahead and mount the clamp on and just simply slide the grip on and clamp it down. Nice thing about these is if you've got a favorite pair of grips you like, you can slide them on one bike and slide them on another, and they're ready to go. Your headset is made up of two bearings, the lower and the upper, and that's what the steering rides on. Occasionally you'll have a headset come loose on you. The best way to check your headset is to place your hand on part of the frame and then place a finger on one of the top cups of the headset, squeeze your front brake, and go ahead and rock the bike back and forth. Now sometimes you'll see where you'll have a worn fork and you're not going to get as accurate of a check by doing so. Go ahead and turn the steering sideways and then check it. That way you're not feeling the play in the fork, you're checking the headset. If you do feel a little play, I'm going to show you how to take that out. To adjust your headset, you're going to need an Allen wrench. Go ahead and loosen the stem clamp bolts on the side. And next we're going to tighten this top bolt here. Now when you turn this, what this is doing is it's compressing the whole headset together. And the idea with this bearing is you want it as loose as you can without any play at all. So what you're going to do is just start by just turning it in about a quarter of a turn to start, maybe even less than that. And if you're not sure exactly where you are in the adjustment, you can always just go ahead and just loosen it so that there is play, and then you can kind of have a better idea of how tight you're going. Once you've got it to where you like it, line the stem up with the tire and tighten down those stem clamp bolts. When you tighten these bolts down, be sure to do each one at a little bit at a time. You don't want to crank one down all the way and then crank the other one, kind of like lug nuts on a car. Ready to go. One final check on the headset. Just pick the back of the bike up and rock the handlebars back and forth just to make sure that they move freely, it's not binding at all. To rewrap your bars on your road bike, you're going to need some bar tape, some electric tape, and a pair of sharp scissors. First thing you're going to want to do is clean off and remove the old bar tape. Make sure the bar is nice and clean. We're going to take some electric tape and we're going to tape the brake housing to the bar. First piece I put just right before the bar starts to bulge, and we'll put another piece right near the brake. Now flip the rubber brake hood back out of the way. Cut off about 2 to 3 inches of bar tape. We're going to later use this to cover the brake clamp. Next thing you want to do